Hello and welcome back to my living room where I am sitting in front of the fire and I'm going to be doing some stitching. What I'm going to be doing today is filling in this arch that goes over this tree. So I'm going to be putting in some filler stitches over here. So now what I'm going to do is do some bullion knots right in this little area here. So I'm going to come up where I want my bullion knot to end, right about there. I'm going to come up, attach it to the tree branch by going into the tree branch and then coming up just a tiny bit beside where my yarn was. And now I'm going to wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now as you can see, my variegated yarn is both dark and light. And what I like to do sometimes is to divide the variegate into 3 strands and then to move it so that the darks and lights put the 6 together so that there is actual variegation in the stitch that I'm doing. And you'll be able to see that when this is done. You see how that is circular versus these here which are clear. This has more variegation right in the beginning of it. I'll tack that one down. And then I will look at where I'm working. And I think I'm going to come off of this branch here. And I'm going to bring it underneath this blue. Come up, tack it to the branch, come back in right beside it, wrap it, and there you can see that another leaf has come off there. And I'm going to do another one. Leaves don't always go in the same direction, so this one's going to come up under that flower. And tack it down. Now I'm going to add some French knots in here to put that green, the new green that I've just added, in amongst these darker ones. So I wrap it twice, put it down. There we go. So I have finished working with the green and I've come to the end and I cut it off. As you can see, just that you know my process, beside me always sits this jar and I put all of my ends in there because sometimes I need just a little bit and sometimes you can use all of these scraps to make interesting, like you could take some of these scraps on top and you could bunch them up together down here and make it like grass and couch it in there if you wanted, or greens or whatever you wanted to use. So now what I'm going to do is continue to work on this area in here. So I've worked on this area for a bit, and as you can see, it has the different stitches, the roses, and now I'm going to go and do this area here. I want to point out how I've used 3 different colors of brown on the branches. So I have a very dark brown on the base, and then I have a lighter brown. It's harder to see, but it's in there on the top, and on top of that I have a light brown to try and replicate a branch, how it's brighter where the sun is hitting it. When laying down bullion as leaves, it's important to think about how a leaf would fall on the tree, whether it would be hanging down or sitting on top. At least that's what I think. I'm not an expert. The other thing that I think about when I am working on the inside of these is I will be considering where I will improve or build up a rose. So this one I will probably build up a little bit to add so that it looks like it is a rose vine, a wild rose vine coming down over top of this. I also have found on some doilies some of these little flowers here. And I'm going to put them under the chipmunk to finish him off. So this isn't anything new. There were no new stitches. I was just wanted to show you how I build up the when I'm working on a square.